when you heard about the position spear, is there anything that sticks out that makes it just different from a typical slot position, or how would you really kind of define your role?
Really, I think of it like a slot corner or even like a hybrid type of person. Like, I can cover and I could be in the fit. Like, I'm big enough and my skill set is set for me to like be able to multitask in a way, you know what I'm saying, like be versatile. So I feel like it's like a hybrid between like a DB and like a linebacker in a sense.
And obviously that kind of comes with tackling. We just talked to John Summerall working on some drills after practice, thinking the tackling wasn't that sound from this last weekend. How as a defense do you kind of really work on those fundamentals to attack this weekend?
Really just going through drills and really getting a good look, which I feel like we get. So, like, just getting the closest look that it would be in the game. So then whenever we do it in practice, it'll show up in the game.
There was a few plays against Charlotte where they got into the red zone, but you guys were able to hold. That's been a trait of this defense over the last couple of weeks. Where do you guys really find the ability in those critical moments to really hold it down when it counts?
Yeah, I feel like we do a good job a great job really at doing that. Like, I feel like we stay together and we play hard. So I feel like us just being resilient, like, we going to come out on the good side. Oh, my bad.
When you see Temple's offense on film, what's maybe the first thing that stands out?
They're a good offense. You know, they got talent as far as the receivers, the running backs as well. So, I mean, I treat every team the same, really. Like, I don't say this team worse than that. I treat it all the same. So, really, I feel like they're an explosive offense as well. Like, and we just going to have to prep well like we're doing now.
To that point, that your team has done that all season, kind of no matter of record. We're getting towards the end. There's some big games ahead. This team hasn't necessarily been playing the best. How confident are you that, like, this group doesn't need a message of, like, okay, we have to stay focused on this task at hand? Like, you kind of know, like, you can focus on this and then get to those games later too.
I feel like we, like, as a team, though, like me being new here even, like, we play as brothers, so I feel like we all just come together and it just work out.
What can you say about this squad leading the country in pick sixes?
I know we know how to make plays. I can say that. But, you know, same thing as we talked about previously, just as far as, like, getting good looks in practice. So, like, we get those looks in practice and we just execute them on the field.
And you also mentioned Temple being an explosive offense. You recently saw that in North Texas as well. So what do you take from you all's defensive play in that game and apply it to this one?
You know, just be better each week. Just being great when it comes to communication as well, and just being on the same page and executing our game plan.
And lastly, for me, Summerall did praise the defense's communication throughout the weeks. What can you add to that? Like, how has it been on you all's front?
You know, there's always room for improvement. I don't feel like we're bad, but, you know, it's times here and there where I feel like we can be better.
Your defense hasn't had to be on the field a lot. I think Tulane's second in the country in time of possession. How much does that help a defense when you're allowed to be more fresh? You're good.
It helps us a lot. You know, obviously it keeps us fresh and gives us time off our feet, so when we get back on defense, we'll be fresh and ready to go.
And Coach Summerall mentioned in the Charlotte game, you guys had played a lot of downs the week before. That was kind of an emphasis to not have you guys play as many downs. How nice was it to, on short rest, to not have to do a whole lot of work in that game?
No, it was good for sure. Just seeing our offense, you know, go out there and execute on third downs. I feel like that's a good thing, and as well as taking steam off of us.
We know you as a person, but when you're on the field, you just kind of turn into a violent monster, for lack of a better term. Where does that aggression come from?
I take pride in my game. I really enjoy, like, imposing my will on somebody, and obviously you're able to do that on the field, but off the field you can't really do that. So I take every opportunity and chance I get to be able to do that.
How challenging for you guys? I mean, you helped block for Mekhi Hughes' career high 5 days prior to that game. Obviously, your legs, nothing was fresh there. Where did you guys really find it to pull it together?
Yeah, the coaches really took good care of us. He said we were going to be the freshest team, and I believe when we went out there, we were the freshest team because we practiced to such a high standard and everything. And when he gives us a little bit of leeway, we take it, but we still come with the same intentions to each block and everything like that.
Obviously, you guys have been healthier this year on the line, but it seems like you guys have really just played in concert. How, well has the coaching been, and just the guys that they brought in, as well as, guys like Shadre Hurst, who played in some relief roles, but, really commands that starting spot?
Yeah, Coach Rochar and Coach McKissick have done a great job. They really prepare us each week. I know some nights they don't even go home, and some nights Coach McKissick stays up here and doesn't go to sleep. So just having that preparation for us and him showing us that much dedication just holds us to a standard and makes us give it our all because we respect him so much.
When you see Temple on film, what's maybe the first thing that stands out about their defense?
They're good. My biggest thing is a nameless faceless opponent. I mean, I don't care if we're playing an SEC team or we're playing a Division II team. You got to have the same intention. You can't go out there, take anybody lightly. They're physical. They're big up front. They're about 6'4", 290, 300, so you can't take anybody lightly, so they're a good team.
To that exact point, Temple has obviously struggled this year, and all of your goals are still in front of you. There's some really good opponents coming up in the following weeks. As a senior, do you feel like you have to have a message of, like, hey, we have to stay focused on the task at hand, or do you feel like this group gets it?
I think this group gets it. I think kind of like the Rice Week was an example of us kind of setting back a little bit, and that was not good for us, and we obviously realized that. Coming off the bye was a little bit of a struggle for us. And then I think this week we've come in with the right intention. We're holding each other accountable and to the standard.
How much pride do you take in how explosive or opportunistic this offense has been?
It's been really fun. Just being able to get into a block. We're playing as a great unit right now, and then seeing Makai break out behind you and run for 30 yards is great. And then Darian back there is controlling the offense. He's doing an outstanding job. He's allowing us to make our calls up front, and I think Vinny's doing a great job, and he's really setting the tone and telling us what we need to do.
What is it like getting back into that adjustment of you're back on your regular schedule, you're playing at a midday kick after how last week has been for you all?
Yeah, I actually I enjoyed the night games, but whenever I wake up in the morning for a midday game, the first thing I do is I take an ice-cold shower, kind of wake up, get the nerves rolling. I believe that helps me out a lot, and I actually sent out a message to the team the night before. Everybody take a cold shower in the morning, and now some of the guys started doing it, and they say they like it, so it's been good.
First off, you were wrong about one thing. I covered Florida for 17 years, and they had a few guys that were that physical and violent off the field as well. but time of possession, you guys are second in the country. How much fun is it when you're controlling the clock like that on opponents, and how much do you feel like it helps this team?
Yeah, whenever we're able to impose our will and run the ball, we're going to have advantage of taking control of the game, and whenever we are able to run the ball, it opens a lot of the shots up deep and allows Mario and Yoel to go to work. But being able to control the tempo of the game is huge, and our plan to win and being able to run the ball is one of our keys to victory, so it's been great.
Coach Summerall pointed out you were over 40 minutes in this last game. That's the second time this year. How much do you feel like that helps the defense when you guys are out on the field?
Yeah, that's huge. I know that first drive was 21 plays and took up most of the first quarter. And so being able to get those guys off and give them a rest allows them to play to a high tempo, and obviously it reflects on the field the way they're playing right now.
You also had a really impressive reception on the sideline, as did John Summerall. But I really think, the reaction to him, it just showed how much this team has really rallied around him. And, being someone that was here previously, just how much do you feel like the buy-in is there? And that moment really did kind of show how much this team believes in John Summerall.
Yeah, definitely. I believe that the younger staff brings a lot more energy, and everybody's buying in. He'll walk up and down the field talking to us throughout practice, and with great conversations. All the families are always up here, so we get to know all the coaches' families and everything like that. And I feel like we build like a real connection with them, and it's great to know them.
Anyone else? Cool. Thanks, Josh.
Thank y'all.